Hi, my name is Sean, and this is my wife Tosh. A few weeks ago, I posted a video on YouTube of a canoe trip we did in Algonquin Park. And I had some viewers asking me what app that I use to map that trip. The app that I use is called Avenza Map. Avenza Map is a reliable offline GPS viewer that'll track your exact location, no Wi-Fi required. You can also add your place marks. It'll record your GPS tracks. You can take your photos. It'll measure your distance and lots more. You can also download hundreds of thousands of different maps onto your phone. And there are some of them that have a fee and some of them will be free. When I use the app, I use it to route my trips for Algonquin and Killarney for my canoe trips or my hiking trips. But keep in mind, you can use it for fishing, hunting, cycling, any kind of activity that you're interested, you can use it. So no more getting lost unless you want to. Some people like getting lost.
That's right, you do all the time.
I do it on purpose. So that I'll keep exact location the whole time. I would like to take 10 to 15 minutes of your time and show you how to create a route, how to use the tools, and show some of the maps that I've used and some of the maps that I will be using in the future. I'm going to take the time to do that, and hopefully you can use this app in the future for your upcoming trips. Let's get to it. Okay, so let's get started. On my screen, I'm going to be using my tablet for this demonstration. You can either have it on your phone or your tablet, and keep in mind you can transfer whatever information from your tablet to your phone and back and forth. So it just makes it easier. You're not making two different layers for the same trip. So right where my little checkmark is, that's Avenza Map, and we're going to click on that app. Once you open it up, you're going to see that I have my maps and my library. In my library that you notice I have getting started. So that's just how to log in, some of the easy tools to use. And it's probably a good thing to start off, but I'll let you go through that. And the maps that I have is I have Jeff Maps Algonquin and also Killarney. And I also just downloaded another one. It's called Algonquin Provincial Parks Overview Map. So we're going to take a quick peek at that. I just downloaded it. We'll have a look at it and we'll kind of just go through some steps on that one. But for the demonstration on how to create a route, I'm going to go right to Algonquin Park Jeff Maps. So I'll click on that and open up. For the route that I'm going to be creating, I'm going to start off with some lake that everybody is familiar with. And I think we'll do off of Highway 60 and we'll start off at Smoke Lake. When we do that, we have to start off, we'll go down to the bottom right hand corner. And right there is where my check mark is there. Open that up. And these are all the ones that I've already created, which I'm going to show you at the end. So stick around and I'll show you a few of those routes that I've done and the ones that I'm going to be doing. We got to start off by creating a layer. So you hit the little plus right up here which says add layer on the top right hand side, and you name your layer. We'll call this 2023 trip. And we'll hit OK. And so right at the top of my screen, that's a trip that I just created. We've got to keep in mind, we're going to be adding layers to it, and we want to make sure it goes directly to that layer. So what you're going to do is you're going to press and hold on that layer. Little orange check mark is going to come up beside it. On the top right hand side again, there's going to be a little eye detail. You want to click on that, and then you're going to see different settings. So there's lock layer and set current layer. So what we want to do is anything that any route that we make, we want to make sure it goes to that layer. So we're just going to take that little slide bar and slide it over, and everything that we do is going to be on that layer now. We'll go back to the map now, and we'll start our trip off at Smoke Lake. Right there. To start tracing, again, you go back to the bottom right hand side, and where the ruler and the little pencil are. And in that menu, you're going to have draw and measure, record GPS track, navigate to destination, find by coordinate, plot GPS average, monitor georeference, open up in Google Map, and plot photo. Some of these I'm not too familiar with. The one I'm familiar with right now is draw and measure, and that's what I'm going to show you, how to create your route. So we'll hit that and we'll get started. So right now my cursor, that's pretty much exactly where you're going to be. So say on the lake, when you start your trip, wherever you move, that cursor is going to be. So it's going to track you on by GPS. There's no going off your route or getting lost. Like I said, unless you want to, you should be able to track your route very easily. Okay, so we'll get started. So at the bottom of the screen, you got add point. So you just click on that and then you start tracing. So it's automatically going to start off online. So you start tracing your route, and every time there's a change in direction, you just hit add point. Add point. If you look at the top of your left-hand screen, you can see a total, right where my check mark is, a total of 3 kilometers. If you have never done a 25 or a 20 kilometer trip and you want to stay within, 10 or 15 kilometers, you can track that distance. So you don't want to do something that's outside your limitations. Just keep on looking up on the top hand corner, and then this way you're within inside your limitations. Continue, add point, add point. Another thing is, don't cover your portages. You want to make sure you just kind of loop around them, because you want to make sure there's no surprises, and you want to make sure you see the distances of your portages and all that. Continue, coming down, and around that island, and we'll stay on this lot right there. Add point, and once you're done, you just hit the little check mark at the bottom. Line saved. Now, if you want to change any settings on that line, you just click it. It'll tell you how long that line is. 8 kilometers. It's a good day. And we'll hit line 1. So it'll take you back to the settings menu. So if you want to change that name, we'll call it day 1. And for information, we can change that too. So we'll change that. We'll change the color to a nice bright blue, and we'll make it a little thicker to see that line. And then we'll just head back to the map. And there you go. So a nice bright blue line. We can see that very clearly. And like I said, so you're coming down. This will be you and your canoe. And if you happen to go this way, you're going to tell you're not on your route. So you get it back. So it's a time saver too. There's multiple campgrounds that you're looking at within a certain area. The other thing you can do is, we'll do that now. So back to the ruler and pencil, draw and measure, and add point. So like I said, when you first do that, it's automatically on the line, but there's a little circle at the bottom here. So hit that, and then you kind of change the radius of that circle. If you want to circle that, or you're okay to stay in any of those campgrounds there, you just do that, and then you're all set to go. We'll just make a check mark there, and it's all good. So now we'll continue our trip. So we'll start on that campground, back again to draw and measure, add point, and start coming down. Like I said, we're just going to make this a 2-day trip. I'm just going to skip by Parkside. We're just going to go by all these portages. We got one big portage of 840. And we'll come back around and come back home. There we go. We made it. Add point, check mark, and then click on the line again. So that day it's going to be a 10.7 kilometers. Again, we'll click settings. We'll just change the name to day 2. Oops. Keep that color, and then we'll just make that line a little thicker. I forgot the 2. And then back to the map. Oops, too far. That one there. Okay, so now we're back, and that's our trip. 2-day trip. It's not too often I'll do a 2-day trip. Maybe in the fall or spring, I'll do a quick one. I'll go out to one lot, spend 2 nights, and then we'll make it just a good weekend of canoeing. Okay, so that's how you create your route. Very simple. Love using it. Makes everything easy, and I don't get lost anymore. And always keep in mind, bring a map too. Just in case your phone dies or something like that, you want a backup plan, right? So still bring a map. Okay, now I want to show you one of the trips that I went on last year, which was so we'll go back to the layers. Now the one that I just created, I'm going to shut that one off. And we'll go to, it was called Sunbeam Loop. So we did that last year. We did 4 nights and 5 days. So one night we spent 2 days on that, or 2 nights on that lot. And I'll kind of show you that one. Go back to map. And that was starting off of Canoe Lake. So day 1, if I click on it, it's going to tell you that it was a day, it was a good day. It was 16 kilometers long. We had quite a few portages. I think we had 5 portages, and we stayed on this island right there. So that was pretty good. On day 2, again, it was another big portage day. We had 4 portages, and we ended up on Burnt Lake Island, and we spent 2 days there. Very nice lot. We enjoyed that. We got to see nice sunrise, sunset, and a whole bunch of storms. If you are curious on this trip, I did post it on YouTube. I'll put it at the bottom in the comments, or a link below, or somewhere on my page. I don't know how I'm going to figure that out, but it'll be somewhere, and you can watch it if you want. And on day 3, or day 4, because we spent 2 nights, that was 8 kilometers, a few portages. Actually, in this area here, we skipped some portages, and me and my wife really enjoyed that because we kind of walked through a kind of a little stream and just dragged the canoe behind us. It was good. I mean, we got soakers and all, but yeah, that's what it's about. And so that day there, we ended up on Joe East Lake. We spent 1 night there, and on our last day, it was a 6.5 kilometer day, and it took us back home. Great trip. If anybody wants to do that one, I think they would really enjoy that, and it's not extremely hard, except for maybe the portages. But just prepare yourself. I think the biggest thing that we made the mistake is we got fooled by the weather. It was warm but windy, and we got a little bit dehydrated. Bring lots of water, drink a lot of water, even if you don't feel dehydrated. So always a good idea. And we'll go back one more time, and now I'll show you a whole bunch of other trips that we're planning. I'll just turn them all on. We got Barren Canyon, Big Trout, Bone Chair, Burnt Root, Hogan, Lake Louise, which I really want to do. I don't know if I'll get that one this year. There's other ones I want to do. I'm doing the Big Trout Loop this year. So that's roughly about 70 kilometers. I think just short of that. So that's our plan this year. And we'll go back to our map. These are all the routes right here. So not in this video, but if anybody is curious on some of these and want to kind of see the routes that I've created and what I have planned, just put a comment, and I'll be more than happy to make some more videos on just certain areas that you're kind of curious about, and I'll be making more routes as I go. For example, like I said, let's do this one here. This is going to be my Big Trout Loop. So the day 1, we're going to McIntosh. Day 2, we're going to take us to Big Trout. We're going to spend 2 nights there, and then we're going to come all the way down to Burnt Island, spend maybe 1 or 2 nights there. I'm not 100% sure yet. And then same Joe Lake, and it kind of finishes off the same as our Sunbeam Loop. And that is it. Now, I'll go back to my maps. So like I said, I have the other one I just downloaded, so I'll open that. You kind of see, so all the maps that I've created on Jeff Map, you can bring them over onto this one here. If you want to do that, you just hit your maps, and at the top hand side here, you got this little link layer, so you can hit link, and anything that you want to link. So I already linked all these, so I can turn them off if I want. And I will keep, let's do the one that I wanted to do, but I won't get to it. If I can find it. Lake Louise, so we'll do that one. We'll turn that one on, turn this one off. And then we'll go back to our map. And I didn't turn it on. go back there again. Link. And there we go. So check mark and then back. Here we go. So I left one on there, but this is the Lake Louisa loop that we want to do. So that's going to be a good one. I'm anxious to do that one. But as you can tell, it's a different background map, and it traced my route exactly the same as I did on Algonquin Jeff Maps. That helps a lot. So for some reason I lose that map or whatever, I have this one as a backup. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and how to create routes and all that, and hopefully you can use this app on your next trip, and it'll be useful just as much, or enjoy it just as much as I do. And maybe we'll see you on the lake or on one of the portages. Have fun canoeing.